guys, welcome to video 3 of our series.
Titus.
Yeah, same clothes. Don't keep going. We're just getting them out, guys. As baby's being okay.
Yes. When he's happy, we're happy. You finished my sentence. Fist bump. So, yesterday we were talking about just the pugnacious people.
Yeah, we made it through 4 verses.
And now we're going to jump into the whole series. It's all about those pugs.
Yeah, so verses 10 through 16, still in chapter 1. We're going to finish it in this video. It is all about Titus confronting the bad leaders. Or
Yes.
Paul telling Titus to confront the bad
Yeah,
leaders.
go do it, bro. Get brave about it. You got Christ on your side.
Okay, so it says, "For there are many rebellious men, empty talkers and deceivers, especially those of the circumcision."
Did you hear somebody? There was somebody on there who was listening to us. I don't know why. It just showed up my spirit. But they were like, didn't say anything about the women. It was men. Did you hear that?
Oh.
I heard that. You go ahead.
"Who must be silenced because they are upsetting whole families, teaching things they should not teach for the sake of sordid gain."
Can I tell you the number one? I'm going to go into it. One of the worst church splits I've ever seen was this right here. People who decided that their point of view, their idea, their thoughts were so important that they should go around and stir up families.
Right, empty talkers. Like, what they're saying isn't good.
No.
It's not to bring correction. It's to bring about the change they think is right.
Yeah, which at the end of the day, if the change you think is right causes destruction to the body of Christ, then your change was wrong.
Right, and usually these church splits are over the most trivial of things. This is not over, like, doctrinal issues most of the time, you know? We've seen, like, the curtains are wrong, and our potluck's on the wrong day, and, like...
Or, well, the pastor mismanaged money. Well, how much money did he mismanage? $20. I don't think that constitutes to have a church split. I really don't.
Right.
I think your need to make mountains from molehills is a bigger issue. That's probably why the church is in such bad shape as it is.
Mm-hmm.
I hate to be that way about it. We have so many wonderful churches that we get to go visit and see. But growing up in churches and being a part of churches and visiting churches, we've seen a lot that I'm going, why is that causing destruction in the body of Christ?
Because churches are full of people, guys. Like, so before anybody says, "Oh, they're full of hypocrites," they're people.
They're people.
Everywhere is full of hypocrites because they're people.
Yeah.
Churches are full of people who are not perfect.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And so it's just our call as Christians to just strive to do better.
Yeah.
You know?
I had a conversation with a board member of a church last week, and it was one of these things where he's like, well, I've had some people come to me and ask some questions he would never tell me, which is great. I love that. But there's questions, he goes, and I don't know what to do about it. I said, you got to remember that whatever somebody's bringing to you, you have to be very cautious of what you do with it.
Right.
Because they may have brought it to 15 other people already, and it's this right here where they're going around and stirring up who they can to get what they want. If people are doing that, it's manipulation, which is a form of witchcraft. That's just the truth of it.
Right.
I hate to be that sharp about it, but you got to be sharp. Paul's being sharp right here. Here you got a bunch of men in this church who are going around and stirring up families to cause division.
Right. And to go back to verse 9, this is why he's saying, like, hey, be really good about all of this because these guys are walking around and you need to be able to refute those who are contradicting the word.
Yeah.
Like, these guys are not getting it right and you guys are not strong enough right now to refute it.
Yeah.
So essentially, dive deeper, guys. Get in there. Be good.
Yeah.
So you can refute this.
Yeah. So whenever they start trying to bind up families in legalism,
Right, you can see it earlier on
Yeah.
and not let it go so far to the point that you're upsetting whole families.
and I would say a majority of people out there who are going to church today have run into people like this. And maybe even you were a person like this, where there was something you didn't like, they changed the music, they removed the pews and put chairs, they painted something, whatever it was, and you got offended about it, and you started talking to your friends about it. There's a difference between, like, man, I really wish that was different. However, I know that this is what we need to do for our church. Right. There's a difference between that and, well, I just don't think that's how they're going to be about it. They shouldn't be running church. You are putting people down. If the tone of your complaint ends with destruction instead of glorifying God and lifting up your church, you are wrong.
Right, because our eyes are supposed to be on Jesus, and our wants are supposed to be for the entire body to operate better.
Yeah.
So when it comes to personal preference on things, like I don't see how that is a bodybuilder. You know,
It's not. It's not. What it is it? Okay, I'm going to say something. We were at a church here not too long ago, actually, and they were singing some older songs. And as a young man, I was like, oh my gosh, why are we still singing these songs that are 80 years old, you know? But as an adult, more mature than I was then, like I just wept in these songs, just listening to them. And it's because I have been making myself learn to find beauty in whatever song is being played.
Finding the heart of the worship instead of the comfort of the worship.
Yeah, any song can get me to the throne room of God. Any worship song can get me to the throne room of God if I will allow my heart to get there.
Right.
But lazy Christians will say, that one song gets me every time. Well, I'm glad it does, but are there other ones? Or do you just want that one because you're too lazy?
Right, but we've also been at churches where, like, the music for me was something I didn't like at all, but I still had a great worship service because I'm like, this is time set apart right now for me to worship the King of Kings.
Yeah.
I don't have to sing along to the song to worship Jesus.
Right.
I don't.
No, you can, and it's making yourself say, I'm stepping in.
And still be a part of the group worship that is happening.
Yeah.
Singing the song is not the worship.
Right.
The heart posture is the worship.
Right.
And so you should be able to heart posture your heart to God to give worship, whether the lights are on or off, whether the music is old or new,
Right.
whether the singer is on tune or in tune or not,
Right.
whether the drummer skips the beats or whatever.
Or if it's canned music.
Or if it's the person who talked about you last week. Like, it's time set apart to worship. Take that as a gift.
Yeah, because it is a gift.
Like, you don't need to make anybody lunch right then.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to interrupt you.
Just worship.
It is set apart time.
And I think that's the thing. Paul's sitting here going like, these people are spending more time stirring up families and causing division in the church. Whereas with good elders will see the fire before probably the leader can, and they'll be able to go straight to those people and say, hey, that's not how this works. We're here to build up the body of Christ. We're here to edify each other. If you have a complaint, I would love to hear it. We'll do what we can. But at the end of the day, if your language is destruction, if all you want to do is show up and blow up, that's a no. That's a no.
Yeah.
And so let's move on.
Verse 12, still talking about these guys. One of themselves, a prophet of their own, said...
Self-proclaimed.
Yeah. Said, Cretans are always liars, evil beasts, and lazy gluttons. So that's a quote from a Cretan poet named Epimenides.
I didn't know.
Let's pretend that that's right. So Paul is saying, like, hey, here's this quote from this guy, one of your own people. And he said, he didn't even have good things to say about you.
Yeah.
You know, he says you guys are liars and evil beasts and lazy gluttons. You know? This testimony is true. For this reason, reprove them severely so that they may be sound in the faith, not paying attention to Jewish myths and commandments of men who turn away from the truth. To the pure, all things are pure, but to those who are defiled and unbelieving, nothing is pure. But both their mind and their conscience are defiled. They profess to know God, but by their deeds they deny him, being detestable and disobedient and worthless for any good deed. So more don't be's, right? Don't be lazy gluttons. Don't be evil beasts. Don't be detestable, disobedient, worthless of any good deed.
Wow.
Like, that's a reproach right there.
And I think that's like the same people who complain about the church not being, the same people who run complaints about the church are seldomly at the church work days.
Right.
You know, and they're actually
not bringing anything good to the table.
Many a times they don't pay their tithe like they should. Many a times, and if they do pay their tithe, they make sure you know about it.
True.
I pay tithe here and we should do it this way. Don't be like this. Wherever you are, whatever church you go to, do your best to be an encourager, an admonisher. Whatever is going on, if things are going the way you think they should or they shouldn't, be somebody who's a builder of the church of God. Because it's not your church, it's not my church, it's not your pastor's church, it is God's church.
Right.
And whenever God gives a church a pastor, and he gives a pastor a church, and he gives elders a church, and he gives church elders, it is for all of us to understand that what is God's was given to us, to steward it as our own for his glory. And when we decide to tear it down, to complain, to throw fits, what we're doing is we're literally destroying an inheritance that God is giving us. And we're hurting the inheritance that he's supposed to receive. Do not beat the bride of Christ. She doesn't deserve it. She doesn't need it. Christ died to make her holy. What you and I need to do is to build. Do our part by loving, admonishing, and encouraging our brothers and sisters in any way that we can. If we've got an issue, something we don't like, we have the right to go and talk about it, right?
Yeah.
We have the right to say, hey, I'm struggling with this, Pastor. Hey, board members, I'm struggling with this.
Like, if you look at this list of do's and don'ts, it's not saying do be a pushover and let anybody do whatever. It's not saying that. It's saying, hey, here's all the bad stuff. Be good. Be so good that you can stop this bad stuff. Yeah. Essentially, you know. And I like to look at, especially, like, I went through and everything that was bad, I put in red, and everything that was good, I chose purple for whatever reason. But
for royalty.
I like to go back and look at those don'ts and be like, what's the opposite of that? You know, being a lazy glutton. I think of like the potlucks, like who just shows up and just eats all the food, and complains that they didn't have such and such, instead of like bringing the food too.
It doesn't clean up afterwards.
It doesn't clean up after. You know what I mean? Like, there's people that are just there to take and take and take. It's like, so the opposite is be hospitable, you know?
Yeah.
Instead of being worthless for any good deed, show up and do the work day, do the good deed, sign up to go feed the widows. You know what I mean? Like, if your church is doing things, like, help.
Yeah.
Like, it is not the pastor's job to just go out and save everybody. The pastor's job is to pastor, to shepherd his flock, to encourage them, and to find even the opportunities sometimes to take his congregation with him to do these things.
Yeah, it is about equipping the saints for good works.
I'm taking you with me. Like, let's do this together. Let's feed our community. Let's pass out the groceries. Right. You know, and we know some really great pastors who their churches do rally behind them because they see the good work that their pastor is doing, and the pastor has encouraged them to come and be a part of the process. Yeah,
and I going back to that verse, to equip the saints for, it's not to equip the saints so the pastor can still do the work. It's to equip the saints for them to do good work.
Yeah.
There's supposed to be good work that all of us are doing. If you're not doing good work, if you're not being a part of it, then you're in the wrong. With all the love in the world, you're in the wrong. You should be somebody who's rallying behind your local church to say, how can I be a part of this? And if it's to up your giving, up your giving. If it's to be at the events, be at the events. If it's to show up early, show up early. But do more to encourage your pastor and encourage the church. Because when you do that, you're encouraging the body of God, the body of Christ. You're encouraging what he has given to us to take care of.
That's right. I think that's the end of the video.
All right, guys. Well,
we made it through chapter 1. I told you we would.
So who knows? Maybe these next couple chapters will go quick, but just know that we are having a great time with it. We hope you are too. Be sure and like, share, and comment. Help us spread this word and engage with us. We love hearing your thoughts and your notes. We've got some that private message us stuff, and so it does bless our hearts. So thank you so much again. Anything else?
No, that's it.
See you tomorrow for video 4 of our study,
Titus.